So I use my laptop with a laptop stand, which means I can't reach the keyboard, so I end up getting this wireless keyboard, but it's time for an upgrade, and now it's going to be time to switch over to the Satechi X1. And the reason I got this one is two reasons. One, this is going to be backlit keyboard, so I can actually use this at night, whereas this one isn't backlit. And two, this is going to be USB-C rechargeable, so I don't have to worry about any batteries. I could just recharge this with the USB-C cable. There's the package, Satechi Slim X1. And there's the keyboard. Oh, this is going to be really flat. But before I open this up, let's see what else we get. It's going to be this little box, which is going to have the user manual, some rubber feet, and a USB-C to USB-C charging cable. And then that's everything that comes in the box. All right, so this feels really slim, cold to the touch, and I think this is made out of aluminum. And here you can see the thickness of it, so not very thick. So this is going to be about 3/8 at its thickest part and a little over 1/8 at its thinnest part. Now, as far as other measurements goes, this is going to be roughly 11 1/8 inch long and 4.5 inches wide. So now comparing this to my other keyboard, just at first glance, we could see the key layout is going to be identical as it should, although I am seeing more spacing on this one. Whereas in this one, it's using as much space as possible, so it's kind of as efficient as possible. And I'm guessing there's going to be another key in here too, which is going to be the backlit. Yeah, I could see these two here. Whereas these F5 and F6 doesn't do anything, this one will. And these keys also look to be a little bit bigger. This feels kind of more chiclet style compared to these. And by the way, this is the Otomon one. Yeah, the travel is going to be less. And I think Satechi did a much better job replicating the feel of an actual MacBook Pro keyboard. Yeah, so these feel pretty similar, but just off the bat, what I am noticing is that these keys are going to be slightly larger than these, and the gap spacing also looks to be a little bit thinner than the MacBook itself. And on top of that, we're going to get 3 different keys for Bluetooth, so I guess we can put 3 different things. So one would be my MacBook Pro, another one could be like my phone, third one could be maybe a PC or whatever. And now taking a look at the top of the keyboard, there's going to be this right here, which appears to be some sort of sensor or for the Bluetooth. This is the charging port for USB-C and the on button. So there, now it's on, and I know it's on because I could see like a little green light that lit up here. So let's do that one more time, and then you can see the green light right there. And we can also see it's fully green, meaning it's on. And when I slide it all the way, you're going to see the red, meaning it's off. All right, so I'm going to pair this with my MacBook Pro, and to do so, first I have to turn this on, and then we have to hold the function key, as well as either 1, 2, or 3. So since this is going to be the main one, I'm going to use this, set this to 1. So hold the function and the Bluetooth key for 3 seconds, and there should be some sort of glowing here. All right, I don't know if it happened, but what I do know is it ended up showing up here. So you could see right there, Slim X1 keyboard. So let me get that connected to this. And boom, it's connected. All right, now time for the keyboard setup assist. So continue. All right, so press the key immediately to the right of the shift key on the left side. So this is the left side, this is the shift key, and it would be Z. Now the same thing, but now on the right side. So this would be this backslash and question mark. And there, I'm gonna leave it as the standard US keyboard. Click done. And there, now we're good to go. So here I have both my keyboards side by side, and we can see that this one is gonna be much higher up, and that's because of this black portion, which is also where the battery goes, right over here. And then here's the on and off switch, and then to connect to Bluetooth, and the little rubber feet. So angling this is going to make it easier to type, whereas this one's just going to be a little bit more flat. So to raise this, I could use those feet that it came with to elevate it a little bit more, but for now, let me just keep it as is, and I want to do a quick typing test as well. So ready, set, go. All right, so that went decently well. I got 77 words per minute. I messed up, I think, like 3 or 4 words. I got a little bit confused at first, but 97, so let's do this 2 more times. So this is my second attempt now. All right, so this one went a little bit worse, 74 words per minute, but I got 98% accuracy. All right, so now it's time for attempt 3. Oh, okay, that one went the worst. 72 words per minute, 96% accuracy. All right, so now let's use the other keyboard. And this is going to be the original one I use, and let's see how it compares to that. All right, so this is going to be take one. All right, so this one went worse than the last round of the new keyboard. So this is 71 words per minute with 96% accuracy. This is take two. Ooh, all right, I think this is my best one so far. I had 77 words per minute at 97% accuracy. All right, so this is going to be my third round with my old keyboard. Okay, that one felt kind of rough. Either way, it's still good. 75 words per minute with a 96% accuracy. So one last thing I want to show on this is going to be the backlit feature, which is going to be my favorite one so far. This is as bright as it gets, so it's kind of hard to tell because I have a bunch of lights in here right now. But if you see the edge, here we could see it's backlit. And if I bring this to a dark setting, here's what it looks like with the backlit off. And here's what it looks like when I slowly start to turn it on. All right, so final thoughts. What do I think on this keyboard? So for my first impression, it's definitely going to be different than the current keyboard I'm using. But what I did realize when looking at these keys, and then also just typing again on my MacBook itself, is that if you're already used to the MacBook experience with the thin, chiclet-like keys, then there's not going to be too much of a difference moving on to this. But because I was already accustomed to these type of keys, these keys are also going to be a little bit wider out when compared to this one. It's just going to be a slightly different experience. And also this felt like maybe it was a little bit too close. Maybe that's why I was typing just a little bit slower on this when compared to the one I'm used to. But it can also be just because I'm already used to this, so I'm efficient on this one when compared to this one. But yeah, either way, overall, I'm excited to start using this one more, especially because it's going to be a lot more travel friendly. It's thinner to put in the bag rather than having this one. I mean, I guess it's not thinner by much, but something. And also, this is rechargeable, so it'll be easy. And most importantly, is going to be the backlit feature, so I can use this at night. But yeah, that's a quick look at the Satechi X1 Slim.